Good. We're here. We're ready. I'm ready to rock.
Ready to go.
Ready to
man.
go.
Yeah. So one of the things too, which I was kind of not concerned about, was like because when we run, like surprisingly, we talk a lot. Or I mean, I ask a lot of questions, and it's almost like
Yeah, we talk a lot.
yeah. And it's almost like shit. What are we going to talk about now? It's like
Talk about the same stuff.
the same stuff
Yeah.
over again. And even like when Brian was outside, just asking the same questions. So shut up. We're gonna
Yeah.
we're
Yeah,
gonna, we're gonna go from there.
So you guys just came off of a serious run, right? 50 miles.
Sure.
50 miles.
Yeah, 50.
50, 50.
50.
So make it clear for the audience. And this is the first time you ever did that?
Yeah.
Yeah. Same
Yep.
for me too.
Right.
First I've ever run.
Now, why did you do it?
So we're doing 100 milers, and it's part of the training.
Right.
So we had to get it in before the 100 mile, but not too close to the 100 mile, just in case we got injured or whatever.
Right.
Which nearly happened.
Which nearly,
Which nearly
yeah.
happened.
Yeah.
I remember you came in here limping like a week later still.
Yeah, because like I didn't tell anybody because I never wanted to like. It's amazing how much it's all in your mind, right? And like when I stood up that morning, I said 50 miles, done, 50 miles. That's it. That's where my mind is. I'm not stopping unless I hit 50 miles. But a few days beforehand, I had run 10 miles and I stepped up onto the curb on the last mile and I felt something go in my
Ooh.
calf. And I'd mentioned it. But so I took about 3 or 4 days off and then we did the 50 mile. And I would even come here to the gym boxing and I would jump rope and I would favor the left leg, and
Right.
when I was on the bag I couldn't lean back on the right, so I ran and we were on mile 1 and I didn't tell anybody, but
Yeah.
like fuck, bang, I went
Oh,
again.
you serious?
Mile 1, 49 more to go.
Oh, man. That's tough.
Yeah, but the hard part of me is I lost 2 toenails.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
But you had bloody socks, right?
Yeah, one of them. And I like this.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we were talking, and Emily's like, "No, I like my feet."
Yeah. And like I want to take proper care of my feet, so I do, and I told him, do the same because we're running a really long distance. And
So what'd you do? What was the preparation for
so
your
like I have
feet?
like a little like pumice stone, like make sure like all of like my calluses are like in control, because calluses just form like blisters when you run long distances, and
Right.
it just turns into a disaster.
Yeah, you don't want that.
So I just keep everything nice and tidy.
Right.
And I put foot balm on like every 15 miles.
Okay.
So my feet never get too hot and they don't create any blisters. So my feet are perfect.
Did nothing happen
I
to you?
literally I ran like the best 42 miles of my life. That
Really
day.
awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
I
don't-
felt great. I
Yeah.
felt great until the end. My stomach started to go, but I felt like I could do this all day.
Wow, you're an animal. I see her on her Instagram running on the beach with like 50-pound vests.
Not
And she's
exaggeration.
like, oh, she doesn't even look like she did anything. She's like, yo, I just did 50 miles on the day. I was kidding.
Nah,
But nah,
yeah.
you're an
Well,
animal.
the
I love it.
way it is too with Emily and the blessing and curse of being friends with her, especially on Instagram, is there was days I'm like, I'm gonna take the day off from running.
Mhm.
Right? I'm like, I'm fine. And I mean, I've sat on the couch, I've worked out, I came here, I go to my basement, I do these exercises with these parallel bars and great workout. I'm 100% satisfied with what I've done.
Right.
And I'll sit down and I'll settle in and I look at my phone and she'll like, 15 miles. I go, oh, motherfucker. And I get up off the couch
Wow.
and I never relax. So I get up off the couch. I guess I'm fucking running.
Yeah.
And it was even, remember like a few weeks ago too, I was like supposed to do, I don't know what I can't remember the number I said in my head.
Like 10.
Something like
I
that.
think.
And we finished around the same time. And I was starting to do like a cool down at my 10 mile. And she sends me, text. And it's a picture of like, hey, 26.33. I go,
Yeah.
I guess I'm not going home then.
Oh, my
and
God.
fucking
And
off
you
I
did
went.
it.
And I
Wow.
had to finish it.
That's
because
great.
Because it's this one.
That's great. You guys push each other, I'm sure, but she
Yeah.
pushes you, man. That's so cool.
Yeah, but that's.
So you already, I know you've been doing this for a while. You met her here, correct?
Yeah,
Australia.
absolutely.
Like
So
a month ago.
You were running, right, a month ago, right? You guys just kind of met and right
Yeah.
away running with each other, which is
Yeah.
great. Yeah, that common interest in running and working hard. And
Sure, yeah.
it works. That's cool.
Yeah, because I said I'd already committed to doing 100, and the only person I was working with was you
Yeah.
on that one. I was like, yeah, let's get involved with Strong Island. We'll make it a Strong Island event.
Yeah.
And then I just went over.
Yeah.
I stayed away from you for like the longest time, and
Yeah.
like I'd see a box. I mean, I don't talk to anybody in the morning.
Yeah.
You see how
Same.
you see how I'm
Same.
like. I just come in, I do my
Yeah.
work, and I'm not a chatter. Maybe at the end of the day, I'll talk to people. So I went over and just said, hey man, well, we talked about the 100 mile. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna do it. I was like, all right, cool. And then
Yeah,
fuck
I just came back from a trip that was in Miami, and I did the 4x4x48 challenge.
Okay.
Oh, that's
So-
what it was. That's what made me
The
go over.
Goggins.
Yeah,
The Goggins
so,
challenge.
the
Yeah.
Goggins challenge. So I.
Do you want to explain to people what that is?
Sure. So it's essentially over 48 hours, you run 4 miles every 4 hours. So he suggested you start at like 12. So I started at 4. So it's
12 noon?
12 noon.
Okay.
Yeah. But I started at 4. So I did 4 p.m., 8 p.m., 12 a.m., 4 a.m., 8 a.m., 12 p.m. So I did that for 48 hours.
Right.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I love anything that's
Challenge.
that's anything like monotonous that like makes time not feel real.
Yeah.
It's like a really
That's cool.
nice. Yeah.
Takes you away.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah.
came back and I heard Mick talking about the 100-mile de Montauk, and I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay,
I'm in.
It's like I'm doing that.
Not even a
It's like I don't
question.
even care if he does it or not.
I'm
still
doing
doing
it. No doubt. That's great. That's awesome. So you guys are definitely doing it.
Yeah.
I know we're probably going to have a few more from the gym, but I think collectively, we talked about this,
Mm?
like every 10 miles, more people are going to jump
Yeah,
in. I'm
totally.
definitely jumping in this time.
Mm-hmm.
Last time, I swear I wanted to go. I
Yeah,
swear.
yeah,
But I
yeah.
was like, didn't feel right. I'm like, I'm not going to even be useful. I'm like, no. I'm gonna stay home.
Useful.
Like for myself, like I was going to drag. I wasn't able to do it. Trust me.
Yeah, but the thing about it is like this, we're like,
I'm not as crazy as you guys
Yeah, but
when
we're
it comes
not-
to this.
like
Yeah.
we learned a lot from the 50, right? That there's
Yeah.
not like we went too fast. I
Yeah.
mean, you might say it different, by the way, so I don't want to speak for you.
Sure.
We definitely went too fast.
Okay.
Uh,
So what would you say, like your first few miles, what was the pace?
it was 9 something, wasn't it?
Yeah, that's too quick.
For the first one?
I thought we kept more of a 10 something.
I thought we were 9, 10, 11, 12, 12. Again, I could be wrong. I'm just,
Sure.
if you say that, then I
I'm not
believe
sure.
you.
I can't honestly. I can't
But we were
remember.
somewhere between 9 and 10.
Okay. That's a good pace. I mean, for
Yeah.
a 50 miler, that's
Yeah, it was kind of dumb in my opinion.
Right.
And then when we finished our laps, again, I'm not speaking for you, but I felt that we didn't rest up long enough. And we also came to a lot of hills that we powered up,
Sure.
right.
you know, which we found out later because there was a lady on Katie Spots that was on Joe Rogan a few weeks back. And I just thought, fuck it, I'll just reach out. The worst she can do is just not see it. And she wrote back to me with all this great advice. And she said, so like I sent it to you and was like, oh, if you get the hills, just walk up the hills. Don't power up these hills. And this is all the shit we were doing.
Right.
You know, we were powering up the hills. And
Yeah.
it was like, so there's a lot, we learned a lot. And I think it was your idea, right, to do the 50 mile?
Yeah.
Which I'm
yeah.
so glad you did.
Yeah, and honestly, like I said, like I felt really good. I felt really prepared. I've done like a lot of research lately, just on hydration and nutrition, and really how you're supposed to handle your body as it goes through different stages of a 12-hour run, essentially.
Right.
So I felt I was really, my struggle was the breaks because my body cools down so quickly,
Okay.
and I was getting so cold
Uh-huh.
that I was like, I need to keep going. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm gonna start like, I don't know, like something's gonna happen, and I'm gonna get out of my zone or whatever.
Right out of your rhythm.
Yeah. So yeah, I honestly felt great until about the last lap. You know, started to be like, okay, that's enough.
It's
That's enough of
okay,
this, you know?
but you know how far you can go.
Yeah, and then like when we hit 50, I was like thinking in my brain because I was like, well, we're gonna have to do this again.
Right.
Like this is half of the distance.
Yeah.
And I was like, do you think I could do another lap? I was like, I could do another lap,
do it.
no doubt.
No doubt.
Yeah. So that was a nice feeling. It made me like excited for 70, for 80, for 90 miles. You know.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love this. This is so cool.
And
Yeah.
that will be it'll be exciting to at least, I mean, you kind of did it with your 4x4x48 is running through the not just
Yeah.
running at night because we've all done that, right, with the winter and that stuff, but to run like literally through the wee hours of the morning.
Yeah.
Like that's going to be cool. That's going to be like its own kind of, I think, energy boost. That's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
But the way it was for me with the 50 is that it's the mindset to me. Once I say what I'm going to do, I'll do it, right?
Mhm.
So, and that's what threw me off. And it's amazing how the mind works. Is that we all had these apps, right? At that time, we had Seamus from the gym who was
Oh, yeah.
phenomenal. Like Seamus, the most he ever run was
Yeah.
7, and then he just 31.
31.
Yeah. Super nice kid.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the
He's a hard worker too.
oh, he is.
Yeah,
He's,
yeah.
he's great, and he's so humble, so nice, so cool. Just a great guy. And so we all had these apps on us, right?
Now what app? What app
Like
did you use?
Nike Run Club, and I also use Strava because Strava,
Mhm.
you know, just in case.
Yeah.
So we were running, and my head like I'm going 50, 50, 50, 50, 50, 50,
Right,
and
right.
then one of the apps went mile 43. And I went, was that 48? Like, so then my brain went, oh, we're nearly done 2 miles, when really I had 7. But when you're doing 50, the last 7 is a fucking long way away.
I can imagine.
So I started to break down then.
Yeah.
Like, because my mind wasn't
They're strong.
Because my mind was just like, no, we're nearly done. Look, 2 more miles. And then Emily's like, no.
Yeah, I
we
don't
have
know
7
what.
more.
I don't know what happened. I was like, no, don't start thinking that. Like,
No.
I was like my mind the whole entire time was like, it's unless that number is not 50, I don't care.
You don't
know
care.
what I mean? Like, it's just we're going. We're gonna
Right.
keep going. We're gonna keep going. Like, had a joke that like each 9-mile loop was 1 mile. So like we're on mile 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
And
all
we
right,
got
we're on mile 3.
5 miles.
Yep.
That's all we're
And
doing.
just
Right.
like we were finally on mile 6, and I was just like,
We were.
he was just losing his goddamn mind.
I love it.
It's just, what mile is it? What mile is it? It's like,
He couldn't do it. No,
it's,
he's like,
not 50 yet, so I don't know.
if you weren't there, he would have been like, "Fuck this shit."
God damn it.
No, I wouldn't have.
I'm kidding,
it's
I'm
like,
kidding.
No, I know.
I'm kidding.
But that's my point. Like the other, like yesterday, I ran 10 miles, and I knew I didn't have time, but I said I'm going to do 10,
Mm-hmm.
and then when the 5 mile came, I was like, I didn't even want to stop,
Right.
and I was doing it on a high school track, and this couple came up with their dog,
Yeah.
and I had headphones in, and the guy was like, "There's geese everywhere. There's geese shit on the
Ah.
track." So I'm like, I'm sidestepping all this geese shit
Yeah.
as I do laps on. I'm trying to find which lane has the least geese shit in it. And so there's this couple come up and they like have a huge fucking Labrador thing. And the guy says something. I take my headphones and goes, "What?" He goes, "Oh, if you see the dog running, it means he's just chasing the geese. Don't worry about it. You're fine." I go, "All right." And as he's telling me that, his dog fucking bolts up to me, gets me right in the fucking knee. And
No.
I didn't go down, but I nearly like I could have easily just fucking ripped my knee apart.
What do you mean? He like hit you?
Yeah, the dog. I know what it's like to have like a friendly dog and they're playful, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
but fuck off with your dog.
Yeah.
Like I love dogs.
Yeah.
I just hate dog people.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Like those over the top
Yeah.
fucking mommy.
I'm a cat person.
Right,
But
but
I'm also a
I'm
dog
a-
person, and I'm over the top about it. So like I
yeah,
can't
but
relate.
like, do you have the bumper sticker that says, you know, who rescued who?
No, but like I can relate. I'm not gonna lie. Like, come on.
I love my dog.
I
Yeah,
love like
You're not
like-
gonna win this argument.
It's not an argument. It's my opinion. I fucking I love dogs. Like
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love dogs more than people. But it's like when I see the dog, like just fuck off with your.
I mean, like, I guess if a dog attacked you, like, then you'd be like, yeah, those people, not the best.
Well, that's
you
why I
know?
don't like cats.
ideal.
Because when I was a kid, I was walking to school and a cat ran between my legs, and then like fucking what seemed like 100 dogs chasing the cat just bowled me out from underneath,
Yeah.
and I just like to this day I still have a lump right in the back of my head. Like I just got fucking split open, and
It
that's
wasn't
why I don't
even
like.
the cat's fault. It was all the dogs.
Yeah, I know. You think I'd be the opposite, right? I'm like, you know, but I fucking hate cats because of it. I mean, I have
It's
a
not a
cat.
story about you hating cats.
You got jumped by a bunch of dogs.
Cats get a lot of views, so we can put it in the tag now.
Yeah.
We'll get
Oh,
so many
okay.
hits.
Not really. I'll get hate now. I'll get hate email. And he kicks dogs. Did you hear him? Yeah, but this dog fucking. And I nearly went down. And I
Yeah.
was like, God damn it! Fucking put your fucking leash on your dog.
Yeah.
Is this what you meant? Like, no, don't worry about the exact same thing you just said. Don't
Right.
worry about.
Don't worry
Right.
about it.
Rather just keep my headphones in and just get blindsided by
Yeah,
a
yeah. I don't
dog.
know why he's
Don't
talking
tell me
to you.
before.
I don't. Yeah, don't. Why would you think you want to talk to me?
Yeah.
It's the worst shit ever.
But real quick, what do you guys prefer when you run? What sneakers?
I run in Brooks.
Brooks.
Yeah, Brooks Levitate 3.
Okay.
I've started running like a year and a half ago, and I've only ran in those, and
Yeah.
they work. So
I'm a
just
I'm a
gonna
Brooks
Keep,
I'm a
yeah.
Brooks person as well.
Yeah, I run in Nike Free like on like 1 or 2 miles or like bleachers and stuff,
Right.
just to like give my feet a different kind of mobility. And
Okay.
I feel like it helps a little bit. Like I don't like keeping my feet in the same position over and over because
Switch it up a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Okay. I hear you.
Yeah, I like Nikes. When I ran my first marathon, I went to the Nike outlet, and there was this girl. She's obviously on commission. She was like trying to send me these like $180 Nikes,
Yeah.
and I would have bought them because I was like, I want to do this right.
Right.
And there's this huge guy working there, and as soon as she walked away, he's like, "Come here, listen, don't
He's like, don't
Don't
get
buy those. Come here. Like she's only like those sneakers she gave you for sprinting. Like they're not. They're
Yeah,
gonna,
you're not gonna sprint.
they're gonna fall apart by mile 8.
You need distance.
Yeah. I'll
Yeah.
be like a Cambodia kid. And he showed me these Nikes, which were like $44. Like, are you sure? He's like, yeah, trust me. And I put them on. They're like clouds.
Right.
And so I got 2 pairs of those.
Okay.
And
good.
it's like they're like that. Yeah, that's what I
So you
run.
know
In.
what? Probably the reacts.
But the 2 missing toenails. I mean, like,
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
we,
That
gotta-
was
we have to
Really speak for
reconsider.
themselves.
Yeah.
yeah, but that was my fault because I didn't like. I don't want to get disgusting or graphic on it, but like I didn't trim my nails down that like the night, and I was going like 2 nights before. I was like, I gotta trim, but I couldn't find the nail clippers because I have a fucking daughter,
Right.
and I was like, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
And then one nail kind of just like it started to kind of come off, and then that
Oh, man.
kind of turned sideways and cut into
Damn.
the other one,
Jeez.
so that ripped the toe, and then it got under the other nail and popped that one up.
You're an
So-
animal.
so-
How'd you deal with that whole time?
I didn't notice it till like.
Oh, you didn't?
No, I knew it. It almost felt like a thorn stuck in. Like, you know, if you walk through like a briar patch or whatever.
Right,
it's
like a little cut. Like a,
Yeah, and you're like, there's something in my shoe. I'll get it later. It's like I can,
Sure.
and that's honestly what it felt like.
Oh, okay.
But then when I took it off, I said, yeah, there's definitely blood in there.
Yeah, I know. I noticed too. You wore like 10-year-old socks. You should have wore some new socks, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah, he swears by everything I buy Walmart, but then he
I
just
do.
like chafed and missing toenails and all
Every-
these kinds of shit.
everything I have
I'm
is
just like, what the
everything I
hell?
have is from Walmart except the sneakers.
Yeah,
Like,
and
when I
I'm decked
run,
out in like proper nice stuff, and I had the best run of my life.
Yeah, no doubt.
I'm like, why are my nipples bleeding?
And I'm like, Mick, I don't know. Like, I just can't tell you.
Yeah, because even Seamus nipples were. Remember, I had to give him one of my shirts.
Yeah.
Serious?
He was like, "Oh, dude, bro,
Yeah.
my nipples are." I'm like, "All right,
Yeah.
Nipples hurt.
Okay.
I'm a little sore right now.
I'll give you one." But yeah,
Oh,
that happened to
man.
me once, the chafe nipples, because I had a cotton shirt on and it rained out of nowhere, and it was just like
Right.
that was. And then I was here in the class, and I was like, I guess I was grabbing my chest, and this kind of I kind of started to feel old.
Right.
Well, normally I don't, but when people come up to you, and like Dakota came up to me and he's like, are you okay? Like he said it quiet too. It wasn't like.
I can imagine.
It wasn't like
anything.
from across the room, like, Mac, what's wrong?
Yeah.
It was like, I was kind of like, I was at the bag and I go like that, and it looked like I was grabbing my chest. He's like, are you okay? I was like, yeah, asshole. My nipples are killing me.
You thought you were having a heart attack.
Oh, he's
down.
so sweet. He's so nice.
So
Cole's
funny.
the best, but it was like, no, bro, trust me, it's fine. Like, I'm not, like, God damn it, how old do people think I am? It's like fucking, but yeah.
You okay?
You
That's jokes. Oh man.
know, it was like you that night, and I remember I talked about it on an episode of the show where it was me and who was the kid?
I don't know.
I can't think of his name. It's like a mule.
Oh,
Blake. Sorry.
No, it's
And
okay.
and I got there before him, and I was the last one to leave, and you were kind of taunting Blake, like, "Oh, fucking Mick is in, he's working harder than you." And
Yeah.
we were trying to get Blake back in just a few months ago, and
Yeah.
you go to me, "How old are you, Mick?" And I go, "Like, I'll be. I think this was in February." He was like, "Yeah, I think I'll be 44 in March." And you're like, "Good for you."
Man, I didn't mean it like that.
I know exactly what you meant, but I was like, "What
I
the
said,
fuck?"
good for you. I remember, good for you, Mick.
That's like
Good,
you
that's
know,
great.
when you go to a wedding, you see an old couple and they're like, and they're dancing to Pitbull or something. And you're like, good for
For
them.
them. they still have that spunk in their life. I just meant to like, damn, you're 44 and you're like working harder than these guys. That's great. Like, awesome shit. I didn't mean to like, good for you. That's how it came off though.
You're like, my insurance doesn't cover your workouts.
And you looked at me like,
Yeah.
thanks.
Yeah. I was hitting the best. Like, what does he fucking mean by that? Like, I don't get good for me. What the fuck does that mean?
Oh, shit, that's funny. That was funny.
But yeah, so you you're looking to now, after when this run is over, you're looking to kind of move into competing, fighting.
Yeah, we gotta talk about the boxing stuff
Mhm.
with Emily.
Sure, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, I don't really have an agenda, to be honest.
Okay.
My goal is to kind of just learn as much as possible and experience as much as possible. So, like, if that's where that takes me, sure.
And it will.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah.
I see
Totally.
it. You see, I
Yeah.
see it totally. You know, when you sparred for the first time, that was your first time sparring, right?
Yeah.
Last
That was
week.
cool.
She
Yeah.
did awesome. Worked
Mhm.
behind her jab. She kept her spacing properly.
Yeah,
Did a
felt
lot
nice.
of great things in
Yeah,
there for
felt
somebody who
nice.
sparred for the first time. So
Yeah.
kudos to you. Keep it up.
Sure.
And
Yeah.
we're gonna do it again soon too. Sparring.
Yeah. And the one thing which I noticed too about you about when it came to sparring is that you didn't get in like, okay, see how I do. it's like you came out like, okay, what did I do wrong? What's my next move to
Sure.
get better? And a lot of people don't do, like, a lot of people get in and they want to, I just want to spar. And yeah, that's good for you, right? And it's you do learn a lot, maybe, but when you very meticulous and you break it down.
Sure. Well, that's why I love boxing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
an art.
yeah, and it's so mental, and it's so like it takes so much slowing down and really understanding what's happening as things are happening. You know what I mean? I feel like it takes a very special mind to even participate in that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so like that to me is like really exciting. Like you can't just, I mean, you can just muscle it, but like it's not beautiful, you know, and you can tell, and it's so it's really cool to be able to kind of learn how to, you know, like do the dance, you know. You can't get that feel in any other sense, you know. You need that other person reacting and doing all those things. So it's like, to me, like that's so cool, you know.
And you being an artist,
Yeah, for
phenomenal artist. So
Thank
if you
you,
guys don't
thank
know,
Oh, it's ridiculous.
she's you could what do you what's your like best thing you do? The pencil drawing? What was it?
I prefer pencil drawings. Yeah,
Right. So I've seen
Yeah.
some of her work. It's brilliant,
yeah.
and
thank
she's
you.
an awesome tattoo artist.
Yes.
So
yes.
where's your spot? Just to throw that in there.
Sure,
real quick.
sure. I work at Black Sail Studio. Shout out to all the boys over there, Brandon Schulteis and Needle Beetle and Marvin Silva.
Okay.
They're awesome
Yeah.
dudes.
Awesome.
Private studio, so it's very, very low key. And they are just like a privilege to work with.
Awesome.
Super, super humble, really talented artists, like just across the board. We have all different types of styles and just like
Very cool.
just like really, really cool guys, you know?
That's awesome.
Yeah, I've been there almost 3 years, so
3 years.
yeah.
Wow. Well, if you want to follow her work too,
Follow me.
find her. It'll
Yeah.
be it'll be down there.
Yeah, Emily
Yeah, we'll
Paul
set it
Arts.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put it up.
So I don't mean to cut anybody off, but so I feel like your artistry translates to boxing. I feel like it's all.
It's more of like a respect for the people who are doing it right,
Mhm,
and you can't fake it. You know what I mean? So it's like it's the levels of complexity where like you like as an artist you can do whatever you want, but it really means something when it's you.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? And like same with boxing, it's like your style, you're doing your fight. You know what I mean? Like it's all in your brain, mental. Same with the good artists.
Right,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
So like sure it parallels, no doubt,
For
because
sure.
you need to have a good mind to do it.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. And that work ethic, you know, like doesn't
Yeah.
doesn't come easy.
You know,
You
and the
know?
more you do it, the more tools you learn.
Yeah.
The more you know how to
Mhm.
implement them.
Totally.
You know, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the work ethic part is I think key. But what's the transition from being a good artist, like drawing on paper, or
Sure.
to drawing on like I know you're not drawing on skin. It's totally
Mhm.
different. Like you're on how
What's the just
what
the
yeah, what's the
differences?
jump? Like what is that?
So
like,
what I consider there's two different. I mean, like you can apply a tattoo really, really well,
Mhm.
and it can be a bad design. You can apply a beautiful design really, really poorly, or you could marry the two, and that makes a phenomenal tattoo artist. So
Okay.
the problem, not the problem, but like everybody's skin's different. There's no consistency. Every part of your skin is different. Your age matters. Your health matters. Whether or not you're on drugs, whether or not you drink water or even use lotion or expose yourself to the sun on a daily basis. So I could be doing the same exact tattoo on 100 different people, and all of them would heal totally different. They wouldn't. It would not be the same as me drawing on 100 different pieces of paper. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So the challenge in that is to learn how to tattoo on every square inch of the body without hacking it up, with it healing beautifully, telling your clients the proper healing techniques so it can heal beautifully.
Mhm.
It's like it's this perfect marriage of this collaboration between you, your client, and how you actually apply it. So like that to me is like the most difficult part, is learning how other people's skin can take your artwork and how it looks, because like a piece of paper's flat. You know what I mean? Like the coolest tattoos move with your body. They're almost like meant to be there. You know what I mean? Like people really like my tattoos for a reason. They're not just haphazardly placed, and like all of the people who did them know about composition. They know about anatomy and muscle flow. You know what I mean? It's so much more than just like, wow, that's a cool rose skull thing. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
you can tell when there's movement. You can tell when there's not movement. You can
Right.
tell a good tattoo from a bad tattoo. You just can't tell why.
Right.
You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
So,
dope.
so that's the challenge. So it's not only creating something beautiful and unique and for that person and to change their life, but it's to also do it so it's flawless and it heals well over time and it's readable from across the room. Like, there's so many different complexities, which is why, you know, I work in a private studio and not a tattoo like a street shop
I'm
because
enamored.
I can't handle that.
I'm enamored. I'm enamored by that whole definition. That's
yeah,
great.
because
That's
like
beautiful.
it's a deeper level. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not your local tattoo artist.
Nah, you aren't.
No.
No, I love it.
I mean, to
Yeah.
be honest, and I'm sorry to most people on Long Island who do, but most of it's trash. Like Long
Sure.
Island, right?
Sure.
Really, it's just like those strip mall guys.
I mean,
and-
like, but have you been to the South? 'Cause
Yeah, that's
that's where the
true.
trash is. Like,
Right,
even
right,
though the
right.
best stuff we got up here,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I don't want to totally generalize.
right.
There's beautiful
It's all
shops
good.
all over the South, but yeah. I mean, like, I would say, without sounding like a total asshole, like 85% of tattoos on other people I absolutely hate.
Yeah. I remember like when the first time I went running with you, and I always kind of, not in the summer, but like I had long sleeves on. I was like, I'm so glad she's not looking at my tattoo today.
It's
'Cause
not.
I
It's
felt
not even like.
so.
It's like I'm not
Don't
gonna,
look at mine.
I'm
not
not gonna.
judge.
I'm not
No,
gonna
I
judge
know.
you
No.
for 'em, you
Because
know?
I didn't do it. So
Yeah,
like I
totally.
But like I remember just
Yeah.
jogging, going like, "Are my sleeves down? All right, good, because she can't see me then." It's almost like you go like I got friends and like you might fat shame them, but without fat shame them, you say like, "Ah, look at this fat fuck over here." My friend's like, just, like, sucking in the
That's me
belly.
right now. Like black shirt.
Yeah, but a lot of them are like a lot of them are trash, especially
Yeah,
especially
yeah.
on the island, the strip malls, and you know it's
Yeah.
just like woof.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what's your favorite to work on though? Like I mean, person wise. I mean, I don't mean like as in you know like what's his name, Fire Marshal Bill was like.
All right, tell us how that.
Yeah, just a complete.
The fuck?
She's too
Yeah,
young.
she's too young. I just showed my age.
It's a Jim Carrey character on Matt TV. He was like a fire marshal.
No,
but-
no, not Mad TV. It was
Yeah,
no, it was in Living Color.
all living color. Shit,
Yeah.
yeah. The
In
Wayne's
Living
brothers. Yeah, we
Colour.
are old. Never mind.
Yeah, it was a great show.
And
Though.
it was Jim Carrey's like first TV shit, and he was like fire marshal. Bill was this guy who gave advice
Oh,
on
it was-
fires, but he was like burned from head to toe. He was a burn victim.
You gotta see it.
Wow.
So like he had no eyebrow, just fucking burnt,
That's
like
amazing.
severely burnt.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean that a good guy to work on. Just flaky bits everywhere. It's just like-
Burn victims. No, scar tissue is actually incredibly difficult to work on.
yeah, a lot of people do that, right? They get scars, and
yeah.
can you?
And yeah, it's very like I said, like everybody's different. Everybody's scar is different. That's so complex. So like stuff like, like the breast cancer survivors
Mhm.
always, they try to get stuff, and like that is awesome. It takes a very special artist to do that.
Okay.
Like people, like you can just go to someone, but I would highly recommend that you do not. That you
Right.
actually do your research and but like perfect type of skin, honestly, just like just no sun exposure. That's the killer, because it changes, and like I'm guilty
so
of
Irish
it too.
people then.
Yeah, I mean like
Irish and Scottish.
but it really depends. It depends on the design, because I don't work in color. I work in black and
Unless
gray.
you want this not open.
Thanks. So like color it just transforms over time. You know what I mean? Like that's just the way it is. Black over time, it does change, but it's not the same. So I am able to kind of work on anybody, because it's just like it's just a matter of, can you see it from across the room? You know what I mean? Like you need to know your contrast. You need to know how to work on certain skin types.
Right.
I personally like arms because they're easy
Okay.
to work with. And I like legs. I really don't like the torso because it's
Soft.
no, it's incredibly painful. So it's very hard to
You
work
gotta
on
listen
for
to
me.
people like this.
No, I don't really have to listen to them, but like I feel. I mean, like I've my half my body's tattooed, so like I know exactly what it feels like, and you can't really do longer sessions on it. It's just, it takes a lot out of you, and then you're over the person, and it's hot because like you're leaning over their body, and it's just like a whole
Yeah, I just-
ordeal,
Yeah.
And like
Okay.
it's like I'm leaning over, so like my back already hurts,
Yeah.
so I have to like lessen my time that I'm actually tattooing. So
Got it.
it's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So
complex.
Mm-hmm.
So where are we in relation to laser removal? Where do you stand on that one?
I'm all for it.
Okay, makes your
I-
job easier, right? For cover-ups
Yes,
and stuff.
Yep, and then we have a girl we can send you to, and
Okay.
it's everything. Yeah,
Thing.
yeah, and like the best part
I
about
was like, yeah.
yeah, you do. The best
Can't
part
wait.
about laser removal is like black comes out the easiest.
Okay.
So, and it only breaks down more and more and more over time. So like even if you get 1 session or 2 sessions, and it's really not that expensive. I think it's like
Yeah, I've seen him on Groupon.
yeah, it's really not that bad. And like honestly, like
We should go together.
it's your body, you know. So like I can never fathom when people are like, well, it's just so expensive. It's like, bro, how many cars do you have? You know, like how
Right,
expensive is
right.
your house? Like you're
Right.
living in your body.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like I invest so much money and time and effort into my body.
Yes.
Mhm.
I don't give a shit about my car. I
Right.
don't even have
Yeah,
a
yeah.
house. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's it's almost like if you're complaining about that, I'm not the person to talk to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like I value my body way more than
Absolutely.
I value my car. So when people are like, oh, well, laser removal is just so expensive and blah, 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 it's like, but you can't get a cover up successfully sometimes without it.
Right.
Like sometimes it's just like if the black's there, like there's just no way to cover black.
Yeah.
Like people are like, oh, like can't you just color another color over? It's like it's still black. You know what I mean? Like I'm
It's
not
black.
I'm not a magician. You
Right.
know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah.
I'm a tattoo artist. Like if I could do that, I would do it.
Right.
Obviously for you for a lot of money, you know?
No
But like
doubt.
I can't remove the black from your body. So but that's the easiest one to take. And then once I do cover ups with laser removal all the time.
Okay.
And it works out really, really well. And like people are really, really happy. It totally changes their whole entire arm.
Good, because I'm gonna I know you have a long waiting list,
I do.
but I'll wait. I'm no rush. I'm gonna get laser removal for mine. I'm gonna
Yeah.
get my golden gloves on my arm.
Fuck yeah.
And I'm
Let's do it.
whenever you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get a Groupon.
Yeah.
I'll get my horrible Mickey Mouse thing taken
Yep.
off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Group trip to the laser
Yeah.
removal.
Mick and Chris's adventure to the laser
Right?
removal.
Both of you guys are just crying, holding hands.
I'd heard in an interview with Dave Bautista.
I don't.
He was also in Guardians of the Galaxy. He was a
Oh, yeah.
WWE wrestler.
Is it Dave Bautista?
Yeah, Dave Bautista.
Okay.
He had like a big piece up here, and it was all red. And he was told that MRIs, when he had surgery done, that red ink, if you go through an MRI, something because it's magnets and the ink is kind of like magnetic or something. He said that
Interesting.
the red, he said, will hurt more than any other kind. If you had black ink, they said you wouldn't notice it, but if you had red ink, is what they told, and he said it hurt him going through the MRI, unless the guy just fucking put that in his head.
Yeah.
That's so interesting. I don't know anything about red specifically. What in the world can make it magnetic?
That's why I'm asking
I've
you.
known that like old prison tattoos, like what they used to make ink out of in prisons, that used to have some sort of metal in it. So that actually used to bother people. Like,
Shit.
but like, no, red is a weird color because if you are allergic to ink, red is normally the color you're allergic to. So it is a weird ink pigment for that reason, but I can't speak to it being magnetic or anything MRI related. I have red ink all over my body, but I haven't had an MRI in a minute, so
You don't know.
when I do, I'll let you know.
Right. Let us know.
Yeah.
What's the weirdest one you've done tattoo? Like
Hmm.
someone walks in, you're like, oh, you fucking hack.
Honestly, I've been so privileged in my tattoo career that I really haven't worked in a street shop long enough to have horror stories.
Okay.
But I've done a a Hello Kitty holding an AK-47 on a dude's lower back. It says "Stay Frosty."
That's cool.
That's probably the most like strange request I get.
Did he lose a bet, or did he tell
No,
you
he's
this the backstory?
just an interesting dude.
I wouldn't call him interesting.
I guess depends on who you talk to. I
Yeah, it's
guess.
true. I mean, I don't know. I always
Interesting
picture-
at the very. I mean, you want to talk to him. You want to know about his tattoo.
Yeah, but I mean, I just for a second. Like, did you lose a bet? Yeah. All right. Good. Have a good day.
No, it definitely wasn't a bad thing because he's a good buddy of mine.
All right, I'm
little
sure he's
brother.
lovely.
And I made him ask me like
I feel bad
3
now.
separate times, 6 months at a park. So I was like, no, man, I'm not doing that. Like, I know your mom.
Yeah.
You know, like I
know
get
your
in
mom.
trouble with people's parents. Like I
Yeah.
tattoo in the same hometown I grew up in. You know what I mean? Like people know me.
That's
What's the
funny.
age limit for tattoos
18 in New York.
in New York?
Yeah.
And if you go younger, can you get like a notarized letter or something like that? No,
No, it's a strict
because I
rule.
know you can with piercing. Because I used to work in a bank,
You can with piercings.
and they would come in for notarized letter.
Yeah, and you can in Jersey, I'm pretty sure.
Of course, Jersey.
But in New York, no. And like honestly, I don't want to sound like a dick. 18-year-olds can't afford me. So
I like that. I like that. Unless they're TikTok stars.
Well, my Dogecoin went up. I think I'm pretty good right now. No.
no, but honestly, like they're not getting the kind of work that I'm looking to.
Sure.
And they're not looking for the type of commitment. Like I'm with my clients for like a year, 2 years, 3 years.
Yeah.
And it is an investment. So
No doubt.
Yeah.
Something that's gonna be on your body forever.
sure.
And you want to love it.
Yeah, and like
Yeah.
18-year-olds, they don't have the best ideas.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
They need
Yeah,
they need
no.
time to develop. So they need that. You know, maybe we'll talk in a year or two.
Right.
Like
right.
it's okay. You know,
Let it
I'll
fester.
I'll definitely tattoo you. Whatever, if you have a good idea, good people. You know what I mean. But you know, like slowly roll. You got your whole entire life.
Right.
That I use tattoos as an example all the time when I have these. My daughter is about to turn 14, and I have these conversations with all of them because she's very. We talked about this on a run. You know, she's got friends who are transgender and that kind of stuff, and she's got one friend who is the same age as her, and her parents are now giving her chest restrictors, right? So their breasts don't grow. Not given the medication yet, but they're supporting like all the pieces getting taken off and that kind of stuff and the hormones. And I always tell my daughter, I was like, look, when I was 33, I got a shitty tattoo. Like, can you
Mhm.
imagine if I was like the mindset of it, like if I was 18 or younger and I said, just chop that off?
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a little different. Tattoos and gender
No,
reconstruction.
no, but I mean in relation to where your mind is, like in relation
Sure,
to what the way you're
sure.
not, and I don't. Again, if that came across disrespectful, I didn't mean it that way, but I just mean as in like I kind of use it as an example. It's like, listen, your mind of where you are and what you want and what you think.
Right.
Like I remember I used to think I wanted 2 sleeves. I want 2 fucking sleeves. And then I start going to the gym in the summertime, like a Planet Fitness.
Yeah.
And every guy in there, I was like, I don't want fucking sleeves anymore. I'd just be like every other person in there.
Right.
with bad tattoos.
With
Yeah. Yeah.
terrible
yes.
tattoos.
Yes. I mean, that's why I don't get tattoos because I'm like, I don't know who to go to. But when I
Yeah.
seen her stuff, I'm like, maybe
Yeah.
I'll get
Yeah,
one.
man, it changes
Maybe
your
I'll
story.
change my idea, my
It
mind
changed,
here.
it changed. Like I've seen people that get portraits, and I go like, either the tattoo is amazing, and you have an ugly kid, or the tattoo is just bad, and you have an adorable kid. Like
Yeah.
one of those,
Yeah.
you know what I mean, is
Yeah.
not working out for you. Either way, they're not working out for you.
Yeah.
I have to quick. I'm gonna put something into this.
Sure.
I think I'm right. How long? When did you start tattooing?
I started. I don't know the year, but I know in July it's going to be 6 years.
6 years, right?
Yeah, so I think maybe 2015.
Right. And then
Maybe.
how did you discover like your art your skill to draw? Because I remember, I don't know, I read something or you said something like it was kind of like recent.
Honestly, yeah. Well, I was like, I doodled in school, but I found other interests. I was an athlete. I was, I actually really liked school. I really like science and I really like math. So I really excelled at those. So I didn't have, and I was in the band. Like I was really into jazz.
Right,
So I
cool.
didn't have time to take an art class.
Right.
I had all of these things to do. So it didn't even cross my mind because my mind was like, well, what am I going to spend my life doing? I was like, I'm not going to be an artist because how do you make money doing that? Like I would have no idea.
Right.
So so I just didn't think about it. So I went to college, I have a psychology degree. I concentrated pre-med. I did the whole thing. Like my resume was pretty stacked back in the day, but I just couldn't go through with med school.
Right.
So I
You don't mind me asking why?
So I was, already in a little bit in student loan debt. And then I was thinking like, wow, the next 4 to 8 years of my life and then like $250,000 for something that I might be interested in.
Right.
Like, let me just take a gap year, really like evaluate the situation
Smart.
because like, like $250,000 is a big
It's
deal.
a lot of money.
It's a long time.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I took a gap year. My dad is an architect. He owned a little business in Sayville, so he hired me, and I was doing like as-built and stuff, but I was also really interested in portrait work. So he had a spare drafting desk, and I just spent my spare time when I wasn't doing anything for him. I would just try to draw stuff.
Really?
And he gave me this book by Betty Edwards. It's called Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain. And it's a very rational approach to drawing. Right. I'm a very rational person. Like, I don't consider myself creative at all. Like, I don't think that I'm like spacey or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I know how to get things done in a very meticulous way.
Nice.
So I just do it through like just grinding it out, essentially, like hard work.
Right.
So I read this book and I really just started to understand conceptually how to make things look realistic.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, little by little by little, I took like one drawing class at Suffolk Community College, and I wanted to blow my brains out. and I was like, you know what? Just keep drawing. Just keep drawing. So I literally just spent every single day drawing.
Right.
And like I had like really odd jobs. Like I worked at Bed Bath & Beyond. I was like a busser in Patchogue. You know what I mean? Like I had no standards. Like I was really just bottom of the barrel, just drawing for whatever.
Right.
And I was like, how can I make money? And I was like, tattooing.
No
I
doubt.
could do this tattooing. So I was just like, you know what? I'm gonna see how it goes. Because I was like 21, maybe 22 at the time. I think I was 21. And I was like, still live with my parents. I literally have nothing to lose. Like, what am I going to be, a failed tattoo artist? Like, who cares?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Try it.
Yeah. So I tried it, and then
You're awesome.
It was really, really terrible at first. And
yeah,
then,
it was.
Of course. It's like, you
I'm
can't
sure.
just gracefully get into tattooing.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Are there a bunch of people out there you owe apologies to?
They're, honestly, they're all my very good friends. Like, you have to do you have to do the first, 25, 30, whatever, for free.
Yeah.
Okay.
So like, yeah, all of my best friends have my worst tattoos.
But that's cool. So you didn't even draw as a kid. You just doodled.
Yeah, I just doodled. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I did, like I have no idea, but like it was never like I'm going to be an artist.
Right. It wasn't like, oh, I'm so good.
Right.
It wasn't
and
like
I wasn't
that.
like, I didn't take art in high school even. So it was like, I had no idea.
Right. I think that's cool. Like, she started
It's
later
funny.
in life,
Yeah.
and she's
Sure.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Just goes to show you guys, you never know what you could do at any point in your life. You apply yourself, and you could
literally,
never know.
you could teach yourself anything. I'm like, you can learn anything at any point in your life. Like, I just started learning boxing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like, I don't know anything about boxing. Like, I still
but you're
don't
learning
know
quick.
anything about boxing, But it's like,
you're doing the right things, though.
Right.
You're finding the right people to work
Right.
with. I'm sure you can give some shout outs.
yeah.
And you're excelling because the work you're putting in and the mind you have for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and honestly, like, I found you guys by Jessica Perso and Sarah Thomas. They did that women's workshop back in August.
Is that how you found us? Through the workshop?
Well, so I've known Jessica Perso like loosely through like my whole entire life. She graduated high school with my sister same year. And she used to
She
play
was on
softball.
last week's show, by the way. If you don't know who Jess is,
Yeah.
check out the last episode.
Yeah, so I was talking to my sister because I really wanted to get into self-defense or like just how to defend myself just in general.
Right.
So I was like, I don't know where to go. I don't know what to do. Like, I don't want to get into jiu-jitsu. I don't want to be like rolling around on the ground. Like, I'm really not into that right now.
Yeah.
And Sarah was like, well, check out Jessica Perso. She looks like she's doing all these crazy things. And I was like, okay, fine. And I reached out to her and she told me about the workshop. And the workshop was super, super awesome. And then I linked up with Sarah Thomas. She wanted...
No relation.
No relation to you. No. No, she's not Irish. She reached out to me for some graphic design work, and we just traded like technique skill for it instead of
That's
whatever.
cool.
Yeah.
Sarah's awesome. Shout out to Sarah.
Yeah, she's super, super rad. It's honestly super awesome to work with her. She's a powerhouse, like super crazy. Technique is buttoned up.
No doubt.
And she's just a really cool chick. So
I'm glad. So
yeah.
So you started, the first time you actually entered a boxing gym was here with the workshop?
I did I Love Kickboxing for like 2 months.
Okay.
Did you love it?
Okay.
I did not. I did not like it at all.
All right. So the workshop was cool, was successful.
Yeah.
Kept you in.
Yep.
Sarah,
Yeah.
working with us, working with Dakota.
Yep.
And anybody else you work with?
No.
Your dad?
My dad. Yeah, trying to get my parents moving. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. I see that on your Instagram.
Yeah. My dad.
Very cool.
My dad was used to do boxing with my grandfather to deal with Parkinson's.
Okay.
So he had like mitts and stuff, and he's like, like if you ever wanted to, and I was like,
I love it.
okay. And I took him up on that offer because why not?
Why not?
And I got my mom doing it too.
That's
so
so cool.
Yeah, it's really awesome. It
Yeah.
really
I
is.
was
It's
like,
so much
I
fun.
watch your Instagram. I'm like, I see them. I'm like, that is so cool. You know,
Yeah.
they're working together like
yeah,
that.
and it's on.
I
Yeah,
love
it's
it.
like it's a nice bonding experience, and it's a good way to get your parents moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, I really think that it's really important to keep your parents kind of healthy.
Active,
You
yeah.
know what I mean? Like, they don't know how to ask for help later in life, maybe.
Yeah.
Or maybe they just feel like they don't know how to get started, or
Yeah.
whatever it is.
Because
So, like-
it's that's something like that will be intimidating to say
Sure.
to an elderly person like myself. But yeah, to do what you're doing with your parents is fantastic.
Yeah, and like, you know, it's fun. Like, I don't do it for any other reason besides like I'm kind of obsessed with learning technique of boxing, and if I can have someone willingly hold mitts for me and willingly, you know, swipe at me while I'm trying to figure it out, like,
Why not?
hell yeah,
No
like
doubt.
I'll do that all day. That's why I love hanging out with Sarah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that it's all about technique, and like,
Yeah.
it's so interesting.
It is.
You know?
It is. I love that because I'm so, like, when it comes to technique, my
Yeah.
whole life was just like, I wanted to be perfect.
Yeah,
And I would literally lay on my bed and go like this. I would do like little
Yeah.
things to be like perfect.
Yeah.
So
Like, always asking Sarah, like, am I doing this right? Like, is there anything wrong? Like, can you tell me? Because I really need to
Yeah.
know. Like, I really would love to know.
yeah, very
yeah.
cool.
Yeah, but
Super
also
cool.
like your work ethic here in like because you're always at the same morning session I'm at, and it's and I don't ever slack off. I know that about myself, but there's been like even if I feel so here's the thing I don't feel I slack off, but I feel like I'm going hard. Like it's like okay, I don't think I could go any harder, and then I might look across the room and I'll watch you, and like you're the only person really that does it to me here.
I'm just
In the
getting
mornings,
it.
I'm like, God fucking damn, now I gotta go more. And like, there's two people here. I'm not gonna call them out on it, but
Call them out.
no, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But there's certain people here, like Colin's one. Colin's not one of the people I'm calling out, by the way. When
Animal.
Colin hits that bag, it's bah bah, right, and he
Yeah,
means it, right?
He's like,
You hit the bag, you make that noise,
Love
and
it.
you mean it. But I
Yeah.
notice people in here that they're making the noise, but they're not hitting the bag. I watched them. Like these, I'm like, you eat your fucking cereal. They go that, like that. Like you. That's how you do everything. You button your shirt up. That. Like fuck off. But
Yeah.
there's two of them. I
you know
saw
what's
them this
funny?
morning.
I've noticed that. I'm like, why are they making noise?
Right, right.
They're kind of just tapping the bag.
Just like, you're making the noise like you're swinging a wrecking ball when you're doing not that at all.
Yeah.
And but I'll look over.
Somebody's feeling this type of way right now.
Yeah.
watching
Someone's
this.
putting their head down, going, "Oh, busted." But no, I'll look over at you, and I was like, "Ah, fuck me. I guess I'm not going as hard as I thought." And then I gotta dig in a bit. I gotta dig in a bit more though.
That's good.
You know,
That's what you
and
need.
that's why I think with the 100-mile, like I honestly don't. I'm not saying because I then kind of set on myself short too. But I didn't realize how hard. I knew it was going to be tough. And remember, I texted you
Yeah.
one morning. I was like, I'm gonna break the Guinness Book of Records for the most marathons run in a year.
Yeah.
And he was like,
Yeah.
all right. Like, like you never said no, which I love.
Yeah.
I fucking love. I think I told two other people like, yeah, go fuck yourself. And because I even wrote to the Guinness Book of Records, like I did everything. And they were like, yeah, you know, the most is like 200 and I think it was more. It was like 400. No, it wasn't. It was
No.
236
Wow.
in a year. I was like, yeah, no, forget that. I'm not.
No,
like I'm
that's
not
a
doing
lot.
like
That's
that.
like your whole
Wow.
year. Like,
Yeah.
I was
It's
gonna
like-
run all day, every day for a year.
Yeah, I was like, no,
Dang.
forget it. But the way my mind works, it was like I was going to do the 100-mile regardless. But the training for it, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. But then when you came along, I was like, all right, this is cool. Like now I know I can do it because I literally have someone who's pushing me that I've never been pushed that way before.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, and that's why I think that's, you know, you're important for the 100-mile run that we're going to do and for like everyone in the gym. Because everyone in the gym, they'll look at you too. And, you know, and I've seen you call people out. And again, not to mention names, I've seen you like, just go fuck.
Only if they start talking shit, I have to dish
Yeah,
it
yeah,
back.
yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna let you burn me like that.
Right,
like, fuck
right.
You.
Yeah, yo,
Yeah.
like,
You know
people
what I
will come
mean?
up and go like, well, you need to do like, yeah, you fuck off. You got here 20
I'm
minutes
dealing
late.
with my
You-
shit,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Like, I
Do
don't-
you?
yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
do
yeah,
me.
right.
Yeah, I'm not paying you. Come
Yeah,
on.
word up.
right. But you do. There's certain people that go out and you know, Kristian's one of those people. Like I said, I said I'm going to run the most marathons, and he didn't go like, no,
Yeah.
you're not. It was like, all right. Like immediately it was like,
Yeah.
so there's certain people that will push you, and I notice in here in the morning times, you're either going to push people or you're going to make them feel bad about themselves, and that's their choice, right? They have the option to feel bad about themselves.
Yeah, I'm not even looking at them. I can't even believe they're looking at me.
Right, right,
You
right.
know, get your ass in gear.
MYOB.
Yeah,
Mind your own bag,
Yeah.
bro.
that's it. That's it. Mind your own bag.
I
So
think that's half the problem. Like everyone's so busy doing whatever. Like I'm literally just
In the
out there to
zone.
get it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
it's my hour in the morning. Like I have a very busy life, so like this is my time to box, and like
Right.
I love boxing. So it's like
No doubt.
if you get in my way, I'm going to be so disgruntled. It's 6 a.m. Like
Yeah, bro.
I'm my freshest. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like I'm gonna give it right back to you. Like I'd literally. I don't care at all.
yeah, because
love
like
it.
you have the
Yeah.
option when that alarm goes off for me at 4. I have that option to go. Shut up. I'm gonna curl back over and sleep till 7.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you turn up. So when you're here, you want to give it your all.
Everything.
Yeah, utilize
have
that
to.
time. Like I think it's people underutilize
Mm-hmm.
pretty much every hour of their day by not just focusing on just the task at hand
Mhm.
and then moving on to the next. Like they get so caught up in all of the bullshit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like it's fine. Like totally cool. Like everyone goes to the beat of their own drum or whatever. But like my drum's a little faster.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. No doubt.
So leading up to June 12th, we're doing a 100-mile, and we got Strong Island involved. It's a Strong Island event, and what we want to do is we want it to be. It's a first for us, right, to run 100 miles. But we want everybody involved, right? So we want people to, if you've never, like Seamus is a perfect example. He said he's going to do at least 50 with us.
Mhm.
Dang.
I think he said he has a birthday party or something, a kid's birthday party or something like that day,
Sure.
whatever. I don't know if it's
50's a lot though.
no, but like, and he'll do it too because
He will.
But for people who've never, if you've never done 5 miles before, come out with us. Let that be your first. You're not going to be running alone.
Sure.
10 miles, half marathons. If you want to do like you can do 10, go home, because we're going nowhere.
Yeah.
I mean, we're going somewhere, but we're not
Yeah.
like we're going to be
But
on that
not
road.
fast. Yeah.
Right. So go home, come back, and then do another 10, and then
Yeah.
go off, and then come back and do the 6.2. Like, do your first marathon. Make it
Yeah.
a first for you.
Yeah.
And that's the message we're trying to put
Sure.
out there.
And
but,
like it's gonna be fun. Like
oh,
I
so
know,
much
I know
fun.
that running is tough. I really I get it for sure. But like you're out in nature and you're experiencing Long
Mhm.
Island in a different way. Like you get to see places in a different way that you'll never get to experience if you don't do this.
Absolutely.
Right.
So like don't think about the running. Think about you're going on a cool nature hike with some friends. You know what I mean? Like you're experiencing Long Island in a way that no one will get to do it.
No doubt.
So it's like, who cares about the running?
Right.
You know what I mean? The running is it's a moot point. You know what I mean? We're here to have a nice time.
Mhm.
You know, we're here to experience a beautiful day in June.
Absolutely.
You know?
Let's
I
hope it's
agree.
a beautiful day. Some of the things I'm looking forward to is taking a shit on Sunrise Highway. Never done that before. That's a new one for me. Right into the bushes. That's going to be new for
We
me.
have different goals.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
I want that T-shirt. I shit on Sunrise Highway.
Well, I'm doing my first 13 that half marathon.
Hell yeah.
If I can go more, I will. But
I'd say you'll
like,
go
I'm-
more because you'll come back
I'm just
later.
saying that's my
Mhm.
That's your bottom.
yeah, that's my bottom.
All right.
Definitely doing
Hold
it.
you to it.
So if
Absolutely.
I were to ask you to put you on the spot, because we've talked about now that we've done a lot, what would you think your the routine is going to be on the day?
The routine.
Because we never really sat down. I mean, we kind of had ideas like maybe we run 10, we rest up, walk 2, fuel. Do you fuel at the end of your 10? Do you walk, or how do you see it going? I mean, we might as well have this conversation on air. Since we never
Sure.
really...
I think every 10 miles having a rest station is a great idea.
Mhm.
I'm going to be carrying my pack, so I'm going to be fueling as I'm going, but I'm going to have like substantial stuff too.
Sure.
And I'm going to have like my parents at every stop. They're going to have a little anti-gravity chair, you know what I mean?
Awesome.
Like I'm going to have some of my friends come out. So like I kind of expect just like, we'll give them a time kind of frame.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I think we really just need to kind of map it out and be like, we're going to be here between hopefully like this 30-minute time frame, like meet us here, and then just keep meeting us. So,
Yeah, we
and,
should
like,
do that.
yeah,
I
and
really want to do that. Actually.
yeah, and so yeah, I don't have like a structured thing as far as like run 10, walk 2.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm more about uphills, downhills, and kind of how I feel. Like I'm like it's really I just more about like respecting my body's feel. You know, like
Right.
I don't I don't want to push it if I feel like crap. You know, like we're really in it for the long haul. Like I really expect this to take anywhere from 24 to 28 hours. You know what I mean? Like I don't know what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? So like I'm really kind of like padding the everything because I don't want a DNF. You know, I don't want to do not finish.
Yeah.
I want to be able to make sure that we crossed all our T's, dotted all our I's. Like I don't want something weird to happen, and it could have been avoidable.
I agree. Yeah, I agree.
So like I think that's why the 50. Like I was so pumped on the 50. I really felt really good about a lot of stuff and a lot of stuff that we need to work on. A lot of stuff that is like pretty cool. But yeah, like I think doing a run through of the terrain would be great.
We have to do that. A drive to Montauk.
Yeah.
We'll go literally from here. We'll do the whole run.
And
I almost
then,
want to get with like spray paint for the 10-mile mark, but I don't know what the
we can do that. We'll take an orange and write
That's
1,
what I mean.
2, whatever.
If I don't like, we do like a week beforehand or something. I want the law coming out. Like, what are you doing?
Now is the goal to run down Montauk Highway all the way through?
Sunrise Highway.
You want to do Sunrise?
I would say Sunrise Highway.
Think so?
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure about that.
That's okay.
Sure. Yeah, because like I haven't like looked at any of the routes.
Right.
And I'm actually not sure, but
we'll look into
definitely, that. Yeah, open to anything. Just like the safest route possible, and then we have to consider what it's going to be like at nighttime.
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
I have a suggestion.
Sure.
I feel like there should be a pace car.
Yes.
Or somebody that's always with you guys.
Yeah.
Alongside of you guys with hazards on, and just going for the whole time. We'll switch cars. Like, oh, you got to go with them next or whatever.
Sure.
I just think that'll be the safest bet.
Well, when I've driven out that way a bunch, like I was out halfway there the other day. I went to Southampton. The Sunrise Highway has the wider shoulders, right?
Yes.
And people say Montauk Highway is safe, but like Montauk Highway has got there's so many areas there. The only part like on the way out, there's very few areas where, because I've driven it recently, there's very few areas on the way to Montauk that if you come off Sunrise Highway, that it's kind of going to be narrow. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So like, but Montauk Highway, I don't know that well.
Right.
I don't know Montauk that well, but I know Sunrise when I drove it out there.
Yeah.
Specifically to watch where it's going, I was like, wow, this is a wide shoulder all the way till you get to the Hamptons.
I know Montauk Highway pretty well. Though my hold up with Sunrise is the actual terrain. So like if we're running on the shoulder of Sunrise, like that's pretty wild. You know what I mean? Like I don't even like changing my tire on the side of Sunrise.
Okay.
And then it drops off, and if we're in the grass, like we're gonna be running on an angle for 12 hours. So like I'm almost tempted to do Montauk and have a pace car so we're even noticeable. You know what I mean? So it's not like these cars are whizzing by us. It's more like, okay, what are these idiots doing?
Go around
what time is it? Like, are you kidding me? Like, what's going on? And like be like, okay, whatever, and just slowly go around. So like that's what I was thinking when I drive down Sunrise Highway to get here. I'm like, dang.
Like, where does Montauk Highway go to though? Like when does it be like? So if I took Sunrise, you took Montauk, right? Eventually you run out of till they become one, right?
No, actually it goes all the way through Southampton. You could take that to Southampton, go to Main Street on Southampton, and then take that to Sunrise Highway, which is more like, it's not like a Sunrise Highway.
Anymore,
It's a smaller highway, which is kind of like Montauk Highway, and you could take that up all the way around up to Montauk. So I think that might be the best bet.
Yeah,
but we can discuss this after this as well.
I don't want to. I mean, like I said to you all along, I was like, I don't want to make any decisions for anybody. I always want to say like, hey, what are your thoughts?
Same.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't want to. Yeah.
And we have to create a flyer. We got to pick a organization that we're gonna donate to, because this is a big thing. This is huge. You guys are doing something that's a major feat. So
we got to get the ball rolling. It's almost, what is it?
So we got
7 weeks out
around the corner.
That's right. Actually, right now is a good time to start really doing it. So we can kick it.
Start off
tomorrow,
with this one.
next day, and really just put it all together.
Getting it,
So, all right. Well, before we go, do you want to plug? Your work? Is there any point? You're like, nah, I'm booked up. I don't care if you follow me or not.
Next.
No, I'm good. Just shout out to Black Sail Studio. And if you're looking for work, you're not gonna find another tattoo shop like it. So.
I like that. That's nice.
Love it.
And again, and Mick Thomas everywhere. And on May 21st, 22nd, I am headlining Mohegan Sun. So yeah, swing by. Tickets are on sale now for that one. So
yeah, we'll be there.
Yeah, all right. I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
All right. All right. Thanks so much, Emily, for coming in.
Yeah,
We
thanks
appreciate
for
it. It was a lot
having
of fun. And
That's great.
we'll talk to you next time. All right. Take care, everybody. Be good. Bye-bye.
Peace.